It was a whirlwind visit, but it managed to achieve quite a bit. Prime Minister Narendra Modi met Russian President Vladimir Putin, a crucial bilateral dialogue. In fact, it was the first time that they were meeting face to face in the last 2 years. Remember, Putin hasn't traveled outside of Russia during the pandemic much at all, but he decided to make time for this trip to Delhi. Lot of subjects were on the table. What is the importance? We'll talk about that, but let's quickly listen into both of them first.
कोविड की चुनौतियों के बावजूद भारत और रूस के संबंधों की रफ्तार में कोई बदलाव नहीं आया है। कोविड के खिलाफ लड़ाई में भी दोनों देशों के बीच बेहतरीन सहयोग रहा, चाहे वैक्सीन ट्रायल्स और उत्पादन में हो, मानवीय सहायता के लिए हो या एक दूसरे के नागरिकों की देश वापसी के लिए हो। अफगानिस्तान और दूसरे क्षेत्रीय विषयों पर भी हम निरंतर संपर्क में रहे हैं। ऐसे से एक बार फिर भारत में आपका स्वागत करता हूं, आपके डेलीगेशन का स्वागत करता हूं। इतनी व्यस्तता के बीच भी आपने भारत आने के लिए समय निकाला, ये हमारे लिए बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है। मुझे विश्वास है कि आज की चर्चा हमारे संबंधों के लिए बहुत उल्लेखनीय होगी। फिर एक बार आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
Спасибо большое, уважаемый господин премьер-министр, дорогой друг. Мне очень приятно быть снова в дружественной стране, в Индии.
Dear Prime Minister, dear friends, I'm so very happy to be able to travel here to visit the friendly country of India.
Безусловно, беспокоит все, что связано с терроризмом.
Naturally, we are concerned about everything that has to do with terrorism.
И борьбой с ним, даже как с наркотиками, с организованной преступностью.
I mean the fight against terrorism, also fighting drug trafficking and organized crime.
В этой связи, конечно, нас не может не беспокоить ситуация и то, как она развивается в Афганистане.
And with that regard, naturally, we are concerned about the developments of the situation in Afghanistan.
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 2 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Ambassador Anil Trigunyat, he's our former ambassador to Russia, joins us along with Sushant Sareen, senior fellow at the ORF, Major General Sanjay Meston, defense expert. Ambassador Trigunyat, what do you think is the takeaway from today's visit? Because, talk about the deals, etc., but strategically, what have we achieved by having Mr. Putin here?
One of the most glaring thing in our relationship has been the low exploitation of the business potential or economic exchanges between our countries. And I find if you see these 99 para-joint statements, or for that matter, these 28 odd agreements that have been signed, what you see is while our MT civility technical cooperation, everything has been going on pretty smoothly. We have seen a lot of actions that have been initiated in this particular domain and the various vectors of cooperation which can really move the relationship as far as economic cooperation is concerned fast to achieve the targets of, let's say, $30 billion in trade or $50 billion investment. So that's what I find. I see a big footprint on that this time the two leaders have really tried to focus on the economic dimension of our relationship. Because everything else, as far as other strategic dimensions, whether it depends whether it is space, nuclear, or others, they have been going on rather smoothly.
Okay.
And controversy of S-400 is already set to rest. Now we have to see how the Americans eventually behave. But at the same time, the two other things importantly about Afghanistan, which is very important for the Russians and for us both, terrorism, which is always a major deal. So they have agreed to have a permanent sort of a consultative mechanism at the highest level. So now 2+2 has become a reality, and that will continue to move forward into various groups. They have also charged various working group heads to come up with the solutions as soon as possible. So I think it is overall a very good visit, and I think within a 6-hour time frame, much more has been achieved. Of course, a lot needs to be done, as is evident from the joint.
Yes, but Sushant Sareen, do you think more than anything that has been achieved, just the fact that Putin was in India itself is very important in terms of optics, if nothing else, to show that India is engaging with everyone, so that countries like China and Pakistan get the message that we have friends everywhere?
No, I think I think for me, the real takeaway was the optics. As Ambassador Hayat is saying that, yeah, we've signed a slew of documents, but I don't know how many of them are actually going to, fructify on ground. And there are serious issues in deepening the economic relationship. Energy, technology, defense is all very robust. But beyond that, what else is there? And I think that has become and has been and is going to become a problem going forward. Secondly, it will be difficult for us. It will take, ambassadors, Biradri, all the skills in the world to try and balance the relationship with the Russians on one side and with the Americans and the West on the other side. We will have to perform this balancing act because for us, both these relationships are very important. And we can't do with one and, consign the other, the kind of a back burner. We have to take both of these together. And that's not going to be easy going forward because of their own problems with each other. So that's the second. The third aspect of it is the regional aspect. And out there, while, we say all the right thing between India and Russia on terrorism and other stuff, I think there is a certain disconnect also which is there. At one level, we seem to be on the same page as far as Afghanistan is concerned. But on another level, I think the kind of reservations and the kind of concerns we have in Afghanistan, I'm not entirely sure whether the Russians have similar concerns. So I think there are going to be issues even on that. But to the extent that we are talking, to the extent that Mr. Putin prioritizes his visit to India, he wants to showcase his visit to India and his meeting with Mr. Modi, both, as part of his, in a sense, his posturing with the Chinese, with the Pakistanis, with others. It gives him a certain leverage. I think that's good for him. And it's good for us because we can also showcase the same relationship with some of our adversaries and countries hostile to us, as well as countries which are friendly.
But, when it comes to defense also, when you're talking about Russia, how do they fit into India's idea of, what its interests are? For one, they have hosted the Taliban. They have moved to remove the Taliban from the list of extremist organizations. They are extremely close to China, General Meston. And these are two forces that we have antipathy towards. So how does all of this fit?
Padmaja, coming on to the issue of defense and the Afghanistan issue which you have brought out. Firstly, as regards defense, I think we have a very robust understanding with Russia, and therefore my take is that the basic issue is that coming on to the S-400 system or the AK-203 assault rifles, I think it's a good takeaway for us, and it will embolden us to be deploying these assets, especially on the line of actual control. Now, coming on to the Afghanistan issue, I think there is a convergence between India and Russia to quite an extent, though Sushant Sareen has some disagreement on that account. Because when you played the statement of President Putin, I think it was very clear in his statement that he is focused on counter-terrorism or the aspect of terrorism in Afghanistan and the drugs. So the drug trafficking. So therefore, this is a very, very key convergence between us and Afghanistan and between us and Russia on Afghanistan. And therefore, I particularly feel now with this, what is happening, I think Russia also gains two strategic advantages. One is, of course, a commercial advantage with all the defense deals what it is having. And second is, it is also seeking its own strategic interest. See, let's be very clear. Russia has been cozying up with China, especially to counter the US. But at the same time, it is also not decided to cozy up with India so that it remains as a counterbalance to China. So it is a balance of power equation which is now going on in the region. And also the Russian worry is that if the Chinese make inroads in these Central Asian republics and the way they are doing the onslaught against the Uyghurs. Therefore, this is going to be having a lot of effect in these Central Asian republics, the underbelly of Russia.
Okay.
So, firstly, to have the Taliban and so-called extremist terrorism, and also the Chinese inroads into Afghanistan and to the Central Asian republics.
Okay.
I think this is where we and Russians have to have a lot of convergence.
So,
let us see how these strategic issues.
Sorry to interrupt you. I just wanted to ask Ambassador Trigunayat, so if I was to simplify it for the layperson, would it be safe to say that basically in engaging with all of these countries, Russia, America, Australia, essentially what India is trying to do is to play all sides, just to ensure that everyone knows that we want to have friendly relations with you and our interests are protected in the end. We are not in any block.
No, at the end of the day, every country tries to work for its own national interest. And that's what the whole foreign policy is all about and what diplomacy is. So you need to expect the best, whether it's through the friendships, whether through negotiations, whether through bargaining, or whether by making alignments with the country. So a basic end objective is that how do you look after your own interest? I mean, that's the real politics. I mean, that's what precisely India is trying to do. Because once you go into a camp, then obviously your options are limited. And that's where when we talk about strategic autonomy or India's approaches towards the major powers, this has generally served us well, I would say. And of course, there are difficult issues that come about, but then you have to look after your own security and your own interests. That's why I say so. Being friends with us is not a bad thing. But if some country or a bloc wants you, just can deal with you unless you're part of the alliance system or alliance structure, then I think India is not a fit candidate to do.
Sushant Sareen, is there any step forward that we have taken?
Look, I don't know whether we've taken a step forward or not, but I think, we need a certain degree of clarity going forward. Because I think the formulations of the past, Padmaja, are not going to work in the next 10, 20 years. Yes, the world is changing. Yes, there is a flux. But, the kind of cozy arrangements which we could have in terms of our strategic autonomy, staying non-aligned, I don't know how well that is going to work going forward. Because now you have a country like China, which is breathing down our neck, making a very close military alliance with another rogue state on our western border, who are actually facing a two-front war. You need to balance that out. Can you balance it out simply by having good relations with everybody, which is what we want, be the nice guy with everybody? Or do you have to get into some kind of a firmer arrangement, which means that not only do you get something in return, but you have to give something in return? Now, we are always very keen to receive everything. We are not very keen to give anything. So, for example, supposing we are going to get into, we've been very shy of calling the Quad an alliance. But should we not want to get into a kind of an alliance arrangement to balance out the Chinese and the Pakistani nexus, especially the Chinese? And let's not make any mistake about it. I think those old dreams which had been shown to us, that the Chinese are going to be good friends, civilization, 4,000 years of common civilization and all that bunkum which is fed to us. One of the problems I have with the Indian Foreign Office is every relationship is historical, cultural, civilizational. Well, you've got the wages of all of that relationship with the Chinese, with the Pakistanis, with everybody. So I think we should be realistic going forward.
I don't know if you can see it, but Ambassador Trigunayat is very amused about your grouse with the Indian Foreign Services. And
I have a lot of respect for the Foreign Service, but on certain things, they use these tropes. So cultural relationship, civilizational relationship, pata nahi thi, nahi thi, kya tha. But I'm worried about today and tomorrow. I don't give a damn what happened 5,000 years back. So problem is that going forward, Padmaja, we'll have to figure this out. We might be able to get away with a similar cozy arrangement in the future.
Ambassador Trigunayat, a quick comment on that before I bring in General Meston.
Well, I fully agree what the reservations my friend Sushant has. There is absolutely no interesting in that. But at the same time, you must also realize that every country, especially that of India's size, has its own strengths. I mean, you are one of the largest markets, whether it is for defense. And let us be very clear, even if you were part of the Quad as an alliance, do you think the Americans are going to come and fight your wars? Nobody is going to fight your wars. In my view, you have to be strong yourself. And what we are trying to do from the Russians is the Russians have actually shown that they can stand with you. I mean, I'm not saying that they will stand in future as well, or they will go against China for us. But what they have done, even in the Indo-China conflict, what can they do? They could have provided us whatever we needed during that war-like situation, and that they have done, which no other country would have done. And I have seen it. I've served in Russia for 7 years.
Sir, in 1962 they didn't. Sir, in 1962 they did. In 1962 it was the Americans who came to our assistance.
Well, it has always happened. I mean, for 60 years, Americans were with the Pakistanis. Today they are with you.
Okay. Times change, countries change.
The dynamic keeps changing.
And of course, the relationships between countries also change. I really wanted to get a last word on General Meston on why India chose to specifically mention during the talk between the defense ministers about the aggression on its northern borders. But I'm being told that I'm completely out of time. I have to wrap up. For the time being, gentlemen, really appreciate you joining us. And I apologize, General Meston. I really wanted to get that closing comment from you, but I am being told to wrap up. Thanks very much, nonetheless, for joining us with your wisdom.